Greetings and salutations. Thank you for lending an ear to The Voice of the Times for Thursday, December 23, 2021. For today's editorial, welcome news in time of crisis. While the government has no doubt already offered the appropriate official courtesies to the governments of the United States, China, and Japan for their assistance in the wake of Typhoon Odette, we would also like to extend our heartfelt thanks for their generosity in the Philippines' time of need. On Wednesday, the U.S. Embassy in Manila disclosed that its government has provided an initial 10 million pesos in disaster relief through the U.S. Agency for International Development or USAID, consisting of food, water, hygiene supplies, and shelter materials, primarily for affected communities in Siargao, Surigao del Norte, and in the Dinagat Islands. A day earlier, Chinese Ambassador Huang Xilian said that his government was providing 8 million pesos in immediate food assistance, enough to provide 20,000 packages of relief goods. The supplies are being distributed to Cebu, Leyte, Negros Occidental, Bohol, Cagayan de Oro City, Surigao City, and Negros Oriental with the help of the local Chinese Filipino community, Ambassador Huang said. Likewise, Japanese Ambassador to Manila, Koshikawa Kazuhiko, on Monday announced that the Japan International Cooperation Agency would be coordinating with the Department of Social Welfare and Development for the delivery of generators, camping tents, sleeping pads, portable water containers, and other shelter supplies to the affected areas. It is quite fortunate that these three governments have been able to act so quickly, and is indicative of the good relations the Philippines has with each of them, that our country's needs were essentially anticipated ahead of time so that relief goods were immediately available. Other countries have also pledged assistance, but in some cases have been delayed by the rather late declaration of a state of calamity by the Philippine government. That having been now done, more assistance should start arriving soon. The early aid from the US, China, and Japan, however, will help to fill the critical gap between the Philippines' own resources, particularly in light of reports that considerable quantities of pre-positioned relief goods were destroyed in the storm, and external assistance that will take a bit of time to organize and move to where it is needed. While the government can certainly express its appreciation for the humanitarian support, the best way for the country to show its gratitude is to make the best use of whatever assistance is received. National government agencies and local government units should take extra care to ensure that relief funds and supplies are accounted for accurately and transparently, and are distributed as quickly and efficiently as possible under the circumstances to those areas that need them. In the same vein, contributions of relief goods and funds must not be allowed to be used for campaign purposes by election candidates at any level, as has already been reported in some areas. Not only is this a blatant violation of campaign rules, it is disrespectful in the extreme to the donors of what is intended to be purely humanitarian relief. As long as we are on the topic of gratitude for welcome news in an otherwise grim situation, we should acknowledge the indirect contribution of the Department of Health and the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. In spite of the criticism that is almost continuously directed at these agencies, some of which are occasionally valid, the alarming spread of the Omicron variant occurring elsewhere in the world and leading to a return to heavy pandemic restrictions in some places has so far been a non-issue here in the Philippines. We can attribute this to the steadfast monitoring of COVID-19 cases and management of the vaccination campaign, which, after all, is the best-known defense against infection and serious illness. At a time when the country is grappling with a disaster of astonishing scale in which a large part of the country's healthcare infrastructure has been badly compromised, having to contend with another wave of COVID-19 infections may be too much to bear. Whatever the relevant authorities are doing so far to protect us from that is working. We thank them for that, and urge them not to let their efforts falter. And that's the editorial for Thursday, December 23, 2021. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and listen to the Voice of the Times.